Your San Francisco Giants are in first place. We'll talk about that here on the Put on Giants podcast.
Lee hits a high drive to right. It is out of here.
And welcome everybody to the glorious episode of the Put on Giants podcast. I'm your host, Dwayne Douglas, and as always, I am podcasting off the beautiful shores of the Pacific Ocean. Beautiful day out here in Southern California. PORSBR is my Twitter handle, so check me out there. The Giants in first place. They kind of, like the 500 after the hot start, 500 over the last 10 games, but it's good enough to be in first place. The division, the Dodgers and the Padres off to a hot start as well, but they have kind of, I think the Padres lost three in a row, which has kind of helped that situation for the Giants, and then also the Dodgers ran into Paul Skees, who's just been. He's the best pitcher in baseball. I mean, not even a question about that. The guy has, he struck out Ohtani on a pitch that started at the brim of his helmet, and then it went all the way down to his back ankle, and he ended up striking out on the pitch. And the pitch had so much movement on it. He's just best pitcher in baseball. We'll see if the Pirates do anything to keep him, because the Pirates don't usually keep their stars. But that's neither here nor there. It's a weekly show all about the San Francisco Giants. So definitely check us out here on YouTube and keep the channel rolling. Also, when they do play, it is weekly, but when they do play the Dodgers, when they do play the Padres, when they do play the Diamondbacks, when they play the teams in the division, you'll see more shows on the channel for that. But right now, the Giants came home after that brutal loss last Sunday to the Angels, where they gave up a 4-run lead. Ryan Walker, first blown save in his last 15 attempts. But they came home. They play the Brewers. Brewers are a good team. They're a fast team. They can do a lot of different things. They're kind of they have really good they have solid pitching. They're a quality opponent, and the Giants were able to take 3 out of 4 in that series. So they took 3 out of 4 in that series. They put themselves in a position where they could take the series against the Rangers. They've put themselves in positions to take series consistently all the time. A lot of times the Giants win the first game of the series, and I remember old school baseball talk was like, hey, if you play a series against somebody and you win the first game, you can't get swept. So 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 the Giants are putting themselves in position to win these series, and they put themselves in a position to win this series coming up against the Rangers. As far as that goes, when you see this, the Giants have just split the series. Then they might win the series, they might lose the series, but after they play that series, they go right to they finally get the day off after like 19, 20 days of straight baseball. They're gonna take that day off in San Diego, and which is a beautiful city. So they're gonna take that day off, and then they play the Padres for a big game coming up here soon, because this is the first time the Giants, I think the Giants have played a division opponent. You want to win those games. Those games more so than anything come back to haunt you with the new schedule. You don't play these guys as much as you used to. You play the rest of the league now, so it'd be cool to see that the Giants can at least get a split. It's only a 2-game series. The Giants can at least get a split of that series. If they, and then they come home for the Rockies, so that'd be good. But as far as what they're doing right now, I mean, I think, obviously, I mean, the way Logan Webb is pitching, he is going to put himself in the conversation for a Cy Young, be a Cy Young candidate. He's been fantastic for the Giants this year. I've always been a guy who was like, is he a one? Is he a one? Is he a one? He's pitching like a one now. And I think in this offseason, they were able to get him a changeup, and he just gives him more of a repertoire. I kind of want to see what he does against some of these big time hitters in the division, like like Shohei and like and people like that, Manny Machado, those guys. So some of those guys have in the past have given him trouble. So it'd be good to see how he handles those situations there. Verlander has been an interesting case study here, because Verlander has been a guy who's pitched very well for the Giants. I mean, the guy's over 40 years old, and just I mean, I think he had a game the other day where he struck out Mike Trout 3 times. I mean, he's just been a really good guy in the rotation for them, and giving him some innings, like giving him 6 innings, 7. I mean, there was that game where we thought maybe he should have got more, more. And I think whenever you have a bullpen blow a lead for a starting pitcher, fans are going to say immediately, you should have kept them in, you should have kept them in. But there's a long season here. It's a long season here. So the last thing you really want to do is blow out arms and really kind of and it's like, just screw up your starting rotation because you pitch somebody too much. As the season goes on, as everybody gets in there, gets in the groove of their rotation and everything like that, I think you'll see the Giants, maybe go a little bit longer with starters if they can, if they feel like they have a good situation going on with them. I have no problem with what Melvin's doing. Melvin's been a really good manager right now for this season for the Giants, and for his career. I don't know how this is I don't know why this is a stat that follows him, but he is the active leader in managing games where his team has walk-off victories. And I don't know why the Giants had another walk-off victory. Pat, the new Pat the Bat, I guess um, Patrick Bailey on game-winning hit in the ninth, the bottom of the ninth inning. They are winning these games, these torture games, if you will, from back in the day. You want to see them. I think once you might see a little bit more separation in the run differential in some of these games once Adamas gets going. I think the only thing that he's having some good at bats, he's having some clutch at bats, he's having some clutch hits. I think I mean, we think it's coming. We think that's coming right now. As far as that goes, we just need to see, that we kind of want to see that home run power. Um, he's still getting RBIs though. I think right now he is third on the team in RBIs behind Chapman and Wilmer Flores. So it's not like he's not driving people in. This is an old school baseball show. Run our RBIs are a stat in our world. So he is doing that. I think for him with Adames, it's pretty clear. Like you can watch his at bats immediately, and the minute that you see him like kind of just go after that first pitch, like people are not giving him the first pitch fastballs. They're just not giving it to him. So, once he had when you see him have that patient at bat where he takes a couple pitches and he that runs the count to like 2-2, 3-2, 2-0, things like that. Then you see him hit the ball really hard, and I think that those are the things that you want to see from your slugger. And he hasn't played. He's played in every single game. So far, so we'll see if that see if that continues. See if they give him a day, but I think it's a well deserved day off coming for this team. Hopefully, they're able to win the last game of the Ranger series, and then that could propel them to another series win for the San Francisco Giants here. Jung Hoo Lee, I mean, what else can you say? Leads the team in hits, one of the league leaders in doubles. He has 11 so far this year. So, short. I mean, and then in 27 games, he has 11 doubles. 11 doubles. You can't knock that at all. He has been kind of a superstar. He and Wilmer Flores. I don't know if Wilmer Flores can continue the pace, but he's a solid DH for the Giants. Like, no question about it. He's had quality at bats after quality at bats for them. Even the other day when he came off the bench with a pinch hit, he's able to take a ball, fight a ball off high and inside and drive it the opposite direction, opposite field, to right field for a base hit, to keep a rally going. That's what you want from your veteran hitters, and the Giants have been getting all that from Wilmer Flores. So good job. So obviously a good job there. Um, as far as the one of the situations of opportunities or one of the spot where the Giants are struggling. I think one thing is Ryan Walker. Like Ryan Walker has kind of had a couple. I think he bounced back yesterday, but he's kind of struggling a little bit as far as with location with his pitches and movement, and they're getting a little bit too much at the plate. That's why he struggled the last couple outings. One of those outings where he was struggling, Camille Duvall came in and kind of saved them. And right now Duvall and Walker in the ninth inning has been a little bit of an adventure for the San Francisco Giants. So the Giants have to be mindful of that as they hit the road against a team like the Padres coming up here soon. So that's going to be something for the Giants to be looking for as well. Like they got to shore up that ninth inning, and it's early. You don't want to blow games in the ninth inning. I think Walker is sometimes you get off to a hot start and then you say to yourself, "Oh yeah, wow, I'm the closer of a team that's really really good," and then you feel that pressure. But he has a lot of movement on his pitches. He's a really talented pitcher. I'm looking forward to him bouncing back. I think he already has bounced back a little bit, but we'll see if that continues. And Camilo Duvall is going to be an adventure. Like he's a roller coaster. He's the ultimate roller coaster. Um, uh Closer in baseball. Like he has amazing stuff, like heavy pitches. Like it's hard to drive the ball out of the ballpark against them. But at the end of the day, like the, right now it's not really an issue because the Giants are 18 and 10, and they have a chance to kind of finish this month really really strong, especially when you have a weekend series coming up against. I think the Rockies are 4-21. So the Giants got to take advantage of that. And when you have those kind of teams come to your ballpark, you got to sweep them. You can't just win 2 out of 3 in those spots, especially when you're trying to win a division or trying to make a playoff berth. Um, that's gonna be tough to see what the Giants do. But like I said, Walker and Camilo Duvall are kind of some trouble spots for the Giants. I think another one is first base. Listen, the Giants really don't want Wilmer Flores playing first base. Bryce Eldridge is a kind of a long way away. I mean, maybe next year this time, the Giants could be looking for him to come up and play for him. But I think they're gonna take their time with him. He's one of the one true like big time sluggers they have in their minor league system. They don't want to screw that up. So they're not going to bring him up and down, up and down, up and down. But they do need more from Lamont Wade Jr. I mean, they just can't. I mean, and VR you know, not really a first baseman. I mean, he's going to play first base, but he's not really a first baseman. Casey Schmidt, not really a first baseman either. He's more of a I can spell Chapman at third. Adamas at shortstop, and then Fitzgerald at second base. Like he can spell those areas a little bit easier than can at first base. And again, like people talk about first base being just that easy position to play. It's not an easy position to play, and you can say you can kind of see it there. I mean, first base defense has cost the Giants a couple of games. Like it's just flat out. It cost them a couple of games, and it's not something that I think that it's. I think they know it. I don't know if they have anybody to come up and they want to bring up a guy who really can't fit the bill offensively for the minor league system just to play first base. I don't think they want to do that. I think when you have a really good offensive team and say you were struggling at shortstop and you had a good talented shortstop, but he didn't hit, but he was a really good defender, then you could kind of just justify bringing him up. But at first base, it's going to be tough. They have to. Lamont Wade just has to get it going. I mean, for right now, he has to get it going because they're really struggling at that position offensively. He's batting 114 right now. It's brutal. It's been brutal over there. I think VR actually is a better offensive option for the Giants, but you got to put him at first base, and it's just like I think the game where he made the um you know where he struggled at first base the other day. I think that was the first time he's ever played first base in an MLB team when the Giants are brought him up. So that's something that you got to think about as well. It's like that's the first time he's ever done it. So he's going to struggle. He's going to struggle, no question about it. So I'm not really. It's not really. It's going to be a tough spot for the Giants. They really have to get something going at first base, if you will, because you can't have errors at first base. Like I mean, it's one of the spots where you just kind of can't have errors, and you can't have errors at first base. It really is serious, especially when you have guys like Adamas playing shortstop and you have Chapman playing third base. Like you can't do those things. All right, put on Raiders podcast. I was so sorry, but put on a Giants podcast here. I'll talk about the first place San Francisco Giants. And then also offensively, on the positive note, Flores and Jung Hoo Lee, we talked about them a little bit. Like those guys have just been carrying this team and just doing a really good job of just pushing this offense through when they've struggled, and they've battled in games. I think they get down in these games, 2-0, 3-0, 4-0. They were down 5-1 to the Brewers the other day, came back and won it in the bottom of the ninth. I mean, they are just that ultimate. They just, I think, Tyler Fitzgerald talked about it post game interview, said that last year they just kind of scuffled. They kind of when it was if it was 3-1, they felt like the game was over. They couldn't fight back and win those games. Just kind of really tense. Now they feel really loose. This ball club feels really loose. I think this is a team that really needed to win games in the in spring training, and it did carry over. But the Giants had the best record in spring training, and they've carried that over now to this season here, to the regular season here as kind of ripped off in the first 28 games, won 18 games. Now they're 18-10 in first place right now in the National League West. So that's it for right now. We'll come back and in the next show we're gonna kind of preview and talk about the Giants visiting Petco Park. And it's gonna be a fun game. They have it's a lot of talent there. On the Padres. The Padres got off to a I think the Padres lost three in a row as of the recording of this show. But they did get off to a 12-1 start in their building. And I've been in that building. I think with the Chargers leaving San Diego, this is their team. They have the city's poured everything in to the San Diego Padres, and you can see it on the field. You can see it when you get there. Like if you Giants fans who are going to that ballpark for the first time, man, first of all, Petco is top five park in baseball, and also just the energy, like the fanfare, like the people are really into it, and it's going to be a fun atmosphere when the Giants play the Padres. All right, put on Giants podcast. If I slip out so on this channel we got put on Raiders podcast. So like if I slip out Raiders once in a while, sorry Giant fans. All right, the put on Giants podcast. We'll see you next time. And next time we talk, we'll talk about the Giants and the Padres. Got a big series coming up at Petco. All right, see ya. Peace.
Lee hits a high drive to right. It is